1. Crypto Week in DC. Major bills on the line. 2. Maxine warns upcoming crypto bills could harm consumers. 3. Trump's new demand. Will the Genius Act make America a leader in digital assets? 4. What is Crypto Week? Bitcoin hits record high. 1. Crypto Week in DC. Major bills on the line. This week marks a significant moment for the cryptocurrency sector in Washington, D.C., but the industry might not achieve all its goals. The U.S. Capitol, located in Washington, D.C., is buzzing with activity as it hosts Crypto Week. The cryptocurrency sector is on the verge of a substantial victory if the House of Representatives can successfully pass two pivotal bills aimed at establishing a long-awaited regulatory framework for digital assets. One of these bills, the Genius Act, which focuses on stablecoins, has already received approval from the Senate. If the House follows suit, it will become the first standalone piece of legislation concerning cryptocurrency to be signed into law. However, the more significant opportunity for the industry lies in a broader and more intricate piece of legislation known as the Clarity Act. This bill, which addresses market structure, faces a more challenging journey before it can reach President Donald Trump's desk. Understanding the Clarity Act. The Clarity Act is designed to clarify the definitions of assets, determining when they should be classified as securities under the jurisdiction of the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, or as commodities regulated by the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, CFTC. The House is expected to vote on the Clarity Act on Wednesday, bolstered by bipartisan support that emerged during its passage through two committees. However, the Senate's stance remains uncertain, as some Democrats may withhold their backing due to concerns regarding the Trump family's financial interests in the cryptocurrency market. The Trump family's expanding crypto portfolio includes meme coins like Dollar Trump and Dollar Melania, a stablecoin, and a decentralized finance company called World Liberty Financial, among other ventures. Some lawmakers who supported the narrower stablecoin bill did so with the hope that the broader market structure legislation would address potential conflicts of interest. Senator Raphael Warnock, a Democrat from Georgia, expressed his concerns, stating, "President Trump's crypto corruption distorts the digital asset marketplace. Crafting a bill that includes a corruption caveat for the president sends a clear message that Congress is not genuinely committed to tackling corruption, which we know erodes investors' trust in capital markets." Efforts to advance the legislation. In an effort to sweeten the deal for lawmakers regarding the Clarity Act, Coinbase launched a unique advertising campaign that involved distributing approximately 5,000 chocolate bars throughout Washington, D.C. The wrappers featured a poll from Morning Consult indicating that about 1 in 5 Americans own cryptocurrency. Coinbase, along with Ripple and other cryptocurrency firms, is actively lobbying Congress to set aside their differences and support the market structure package, believing that clearer regulations will foster increased investment in the crypto space. Kara Calvert, Coinbase Vice President of U.S. Policy, emphasized the importance of consumer confidence, stating, "When consumers engage in buying, selling, and trading these digital assets, they want assurance about what they're acquiring and the credibility of the intermediary they are using." This bill aims to provide that framework. Upcoming developments. The Senate is preparing to introduce its own version of the market structure bill this month, which is anticipated to have some differences from the House's proposal. Senate Banking Chair Tim Scott, a Republican from South Carolina, is collaborating with Senator Cynthia Lummis, a Republican from Wyoming, and others on this initiative. Additionally, other Democrats, including Senator Kirsten Gillibrand from New York, are planning to work alongside Republicans on this legislation, having previously collaborated with Lummis on market structure bills. Gillibrand stated, "We have a lot of work ahead of us, and we will be working in a bipartisan manner over the next month." The Genius Act and Federal Reserve implications. The House is set to vote on the Genius Act on Thursday. This package successfully passed the Senate last month, with 18 Democrats joining the majority of Republicans in support. The House had previously paused its own version of the bill due to pressure from Trump, who urged lawmakers via a Truth Social post to expedite the process without delays or additional amendments. In addition to the two major bills that the cryptocurrency industry has been advocating for, the House will also consider a separate proposal aimed at preventing the Federal Reserve from issuing a central bank digital currency, CBDC. This bill is expected to pass in a vote scheduled for Wednesday. Summer Mersinger, CEO of the Blockchain Association, expressed support for this bill, stating, "If this is a role for the private sector, the government should not be competing in that space." 2. Maxine warns, upcoming crypto bills could harm consumers. Bold proclamations are making waves in Washington as Representative Maxine Waters, Democrat California, issues a stark warning about impending legislation concerning cryptocurrency. She asserts that the forthcoming Clarity and Genius Acts could severely undermine protections for consumers, limit the powers of the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, and even pose potential risks to national security. It's a situation that has many on edge, and Waters is not holding back. In an opinion piece published on MSNBC, Waters articulated her concerns, indicating that these proposed bills might prioritize industry interests at the expense of consumer safety. "I told you so," she declared emphatically. By sounding the alarm about these legislative developments, she highlights a looming potential for significant financial fraud and devastation affecting millions of American families. This conversation around cryptocurrency regulation isn't simple. Under the Trump administration, the balance in the United States shifted from the stricter approaches seen during the Biden era toward a more lenient stance. Critics argue that this shift has turned the crypto landscape into a virtual free-for-all, primarily benefiting those within political circles. Interestingly, members of the Trump family are among those who stand to gain from this friendly atmosphere for crypto. They have actively promoted various non-fungible tokens, NFTs, and meme coins, and even ventured into crypto businesses such as World Liberty Financial and American Bitcoin. To add another layer, there are ongoing discussions about a utility token for Trump's social media platform, Truth Social, alongside a recent filing for a crypto exchange-traded fund, ETF, by its parent company. Despite attempts by lawmakers, including Waters and Senator Elizabeth Warren, Democrat Massachusetts, to introduce restrictions that would prevent the current president and their family from profiting off cryptocurrency ventures, progress on this legislative front has been sluggish. The decisions Congress makes this week hold the power to shape domestic markets and could set precedents that resonate across the globe. With international regulators closely monitoring how the U.S. navigates this complex issue, the stakes could not be higher. Waters specifically warned that the Clarity Act threatens the SEC's capability to safeguard investors. She expressed concern that under its provisions, regulators could be forced to wait until investors have already suffered losses, potentially after a company has collapsed, before being able to act. That's a terrifying prospect, suggesting that financial security could be compromised without adequate preemptive measures. Her critique extended to the Genius Act, particularly regarding its handling of stablecoins. She argues that its capacity to effectively regulate them is insufficient and inadequately funded. Unlike conventional banking systems, this bill does not necessitate community reinvestment or robust oversight of third-party vendors, thereby leaving users vulnerable to fraud and discrimination. Moreover, Waters raised alarms about national security implications, particularly the legislation's broad exemptions for decentralized finance, which might not assure compliance with critical regulations like the Bank Secrecy Act. The bill also broadly exempts the decentralized finance industry from nearly all oversight, which is concerning, she noted, pointing out that companies like Trump's World Liberty Financial could exploit these loopholes. The potential for foreign-controlled crypto enterprises to gain easier access to U.S. markets is another of Waters' concerns, as this could introduce substantial risks into an already volatile environment. She framed these bills as favors to Wall Street and major tech firms, challenging the narrative that cryptocurrency democratizes finance. They give megabanks and big crypto the green light to consolidate control, she argued. Sean Lee, co-founder of the International Digital Asset Exchange Association, emphasized the significant influence of U.S. regulatory decisions on the global crypto landscape. The U.S. is the largest and most innovative market in the digital asset space. Establishing a regulatory framework is crucial for setting a global benchmark, he stated. However, he cautioned that the system is not without its flaws and requires a continual evolution to adapt to market behaviors, avoiding a one-size-fits-all strategy. As we navigate these turbulent waters of cryptocurrency legislation, we invite you to share your thoughts. Do you agree with Waters' concerns regarding consumer protection and the potential pitfalls of these bills? Or do you see the flexibility in crypto regulation as a necessary step for innovation? Let's discuss. 3. Trump's new demand. Will the Genius Act make America a leader in digital assets? In a bold move that could reshape the landscape of digital finance, President Donald Trump has urged Republicans to rally behind a significant new piece of legislation that is making its way to the House of Representatives this Tuesday. He asserts that this bill will propel the United States light years ahead of China, Europe, and all others in the realm of digital assets. The proposed legislation, known as the Genius Act, which stands for Guiding and Establishing National Innovation for U.S. Stablecoins Act, is designed to establish regulations for stablecoins. These are a specific category of cryptocurrency that are tied to stable assets, such as the U.S. dollar, to minimize volatility. Having already received approval from the Senate, the bill is now poised for a crucial vote in the House before it reaches Trump's desk for final approval. In a recent post on Truth Social, Trump expressed his enthusiasm, stating, "The House will soon vote on a tremendous bill to make America the undisputed #1 leader in digital assets." This statement underscores the administration's commitment to positioning the U.S. as a frontrunner in the rapidly evolving digital economy. As this story develops, stay tuned for further updates on this pivotal legislation and its potential implications for the future of cryptocurrency regulation in America. 4. What is Crypto Week? Bitcoin hits record high. Imagine this. Bitcoin has just soared past a staggering $120,000, marking a significant achievement for the globe's leading cryptocurrency as we approach a pivotal week in the United States. Starting from July 14, 2025, what is being dubbed Crypto Week is set to unfold, wherein the U.S. House of Representatives will engage in discussions regarding 3 pivotal bills aimed at creating a more welcoming regulatory environment for cryptocurrencies, a long-sought goal among industry insiders. Former President Donald Trump has been vocal in urging lawmakers to revitalize the existing regulations, moving away from the multitude of lawsuits launched against crypto enterprises by the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, during the term of President Joe Biden. He advocates for a more favorable stance towards the cryptocurrency sector, which could further bolster its growth. These shifts in regulatory sentiment have contributed to Bitcoin's remarkable 29% increase this year, culminating in its all-time high of $122,055. Bitcoin, recognized as the first cryptocurrency, commenced its trading journey in January 2009 with a value of merely $0.004. This remarkable surge has not only prompted an uptick in Bitcoin, but has also reignited a rally across other cryptocurrencies. For instance, Ether, known as the second most popular cryptocurrency, reached a notable 5-month zenith, hitting $3,048.20 on the same Monday. Overall, the cryptocurrency sector's combined market capitalization has surged to approximately $3.8 trillion, as reported by CoinMarketCap. Cryptocurrencies serve as a revolutionary form of monetary exchange, empowering individuals to sidestep traditional banks and standard payment systems. What's on the line? During this critical Crypto Week, U.S. lawmakers will consider 3 major pieces of legislation. The Genius Act *. This legislation aims to clarify when digital assets, like various crypto tokens, are classified as securities or commodities. By establishing clearer rules, it seeks to alleviate legal uncertainties that startups often face. Notably, the Genius Act has already seen approval from the Senate. The Clarity Act *, designed to prevent federal agencies from overreaching their regulatory authority based on court decisions. This act ensures that it is Congress, and not judiciary rulings, that will outline how crypto assets are categorized and regulated. The Anti-CBDC Surveillance State Act *. This proposal aims to disallow the Federal Reserve from introducing a central bank digital currency, CBDC, with critics arguing that such a move might pave the way for governmental oversight of American financial activities, ultimately jeopardizing personal privacy. This initiative represents a stark turnaround for an industry that once contemplated operating beyond U.S. borders due to what it perceived as a stringent regulatory climate. Crypto companies have long criticized U.S. financial regulators, particularly the SEC, for implementing ambiguous and often conflicting regulations. Jag Kuhner, who heads derivatives at Bitfinex, expressed optimism regarding the situation, stating, "We anticipate that funds previously sidelined due to regulatory confusion will re-emerge, even if the final approval process experiences delays." The decisions made this week could pave the way for companies to introduce new digital asset offerings and facilitate cryptocurrency trading. Are there dissenting voices? Not everyone is in agreement with the proposed legislation. Democrats are likely to suggest revisions to the Genius and Clarity Acts. Some critics believe that the Trump administration is conceding too much control to the cryptocurrency sector. Senator Elizabeth Warren articulated her concerns during a Senate Banking, Housing, and Urban Affairs Committee meeting, asserting, "I worry that my Republican colleagues are merely looking to provide another handout to the industry." She advocated for banning public officials from endorsing or profiting from crypto tokens directly. Furthermore, Warren emphasized that any new regulations should not undermine existing securities laws and that mechanisms must be established to avert volatility in the cryptocurrency market from spilling into traditional financial systems. She also stressed the importance of upholding anti-money laundering protocols within the crypto sector, as the anonymity provided by cryptographic wallet addresses can enable illicit activities. In contrast, the Biden administration has adopted a more stringent approach to cryptocurrency regulation, aiming to classify digital assets as securities with obligations similar to those of stocks and bonds. What's Trump's crypto connection? Surprisingly, Trump, who was once skeptical about cryptocurrencies, has transformed into a significant advocate in recent times. He even made history as the first major party candidate to accept campaign donations in cryptocurrency during his campaign last year. During the 2024 campaign cycle, nearly $250 million was funneled into supporting crypto-friendly candidates, with efforts aimed at sidelining those who oppose the industry, as indicated by Federal Election Commission records. In March, Trump made headlines by proposing the establishment of a crypto reserve, which would include 5 different cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, and pledged to position the U.S. as the leading digital currency hub globally. Additionally, members of Trump's family business have created several cryptocurrency-themed meme coins, including the Dollar Trump and Dollar Melania tokens, which capitalize on internet humor and pop culture references. Trump has faced scrutiny for possible conflicts of interest surrounding these ventures, including World Liberty Financial, a crypto group linked to him and his sons, which reportedly generated $57 million in revenue for the former president. Moreover, Trump Media and Technology Group has sought approval from the SEC to create a crypto blue-chip ETF, which would function as an exchange-traded fund composed of Bitcoin and various other digital currencies. How has Bitcoin performed post-Trump's re-election? To put Bitcoin's success into perspective, if it were classified as a nation, it would rank among the top 10 globally in terms of gross domestic product, standing shoulder to shoulder with countries like Brazil and Canada, which have GDPs of approximately $2.17 trillion and $2.14 trillion, respectively. Following Donald Trump's re-election in November 2024, Bitcoin experienced an extraordinary 75% surge, skyrocketing from around $69,539 on election day to its current record high. The cryptocurrency briefly dipped below the $90,000 mark on February 25, spurred by market anxieties following Trump's announcement of fresh tariffs across numerous countries and sectors. However, it rebounded strongly after Trump revealed plans for the crypto reserve. Bitcoin's rise is occurring against a backdrop of economic uncertainty, exacerbated by Trump's unpredictable tariffs affecting key trading partners, as well as ongoing global conflicts in Ukraine and the Middle East. Analysts from Citibank noted in a recent report, Bitcoin has displayed impressive resilience this year, responding favorably to macroeconomic conditions following tariff announcements. So, what do you think? Are these new regulations a necessary step towards fostering the growth of cryptocurrencies, or could they undermine existing financial safeguards? Let's hear your thoughts in the comments. ****